Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning. We're having a good laugh watching myself and others on the intro there. It's a great morning, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and I'll be your host for the next hour, and we've got a great show coming up for you. So if you're thinking about doing something different right now, I encourage you to grab a cup of coffee, tea, whatever you like to drink in the morning, and pull up a chair and sit down and enjoy the show, because it's going to be real interesting. I'll tell you, folks, the show is taking off. When I first started the show, we had maybe one or two announcements, and I think folks are finally getting it. They're sending me in here to the show announcements and what's going on in the county, and that's what this show is all about. This is really your show, and I'm just sort of the guy that puts it all together every week with the crew here, and to let you know what's going on and so forth. So let's just jump right into all kinds of good stuff here. It's been a great weekend so far, and we're going to have some wonderful weather right straight through to tomorrow night. I guess Monday looks kind of weird. What's this polar vortex in September I'm hearing about? They said that they talked to the, what's his name, Punxsutawney Phil, and they sent him to a psychiatrist, and after all was said and done, they found out he was bipolar. That's a little joke. I didn't make that up because polar vortex. Anyways, drum roll. Okay, so let's see what we got coming up here. In no particular order, let's go this way. The Mayville Chautauqua Lions Club, their 40th annual spaghetti dinner, is going to be this Tuesday, August 12th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at St. Mary's Church Hall at 24 East Chautauqua Street in Mayville. Parking is off Vista Drive. I guess that must be important because they included that. Adults, $8, and children, 12 and under, $6. Takeouts are available. So, Mayville Chautauqua Lions Club, 40th annual spaghetti dinner. That's a lot of spaghetti over the years. Okay, and if you're watching the show right now, it's August 9th, Saturday morning. If you're watching the show later in the week, you can't call in. Spaghetti dinner could be already over, but I want you to know that in a couple days from now, that's happening. All right. Also, I just got this information here, and let's see if I can bring it up real quick. This is interesting. New York State Senator, our good friend Kathy Young, has announced a photo contest. Now, you're going to have stiff competition because there it is. Our guys here are great photographers, as you can see behind me from time to time, and our guest. It says here, anyone who lives in the 57th New York State Senate District can submit up to 5 photos for the contest. The top 12 winners will be selected to be part of a special calendar and featured on Senator Young's website. Photos must be taken within the 57th District, so no Statue of Liberty pictures, please. You can submit photos or vote on uploaded ones at facebook.com and /Senator Kathy Young, no spaces. So you can go to her website and submit them. So get those cameras going, guys. September 1st is coming here pretty soon. All right. Also, we got, let's see, this coming Friday over at 21 Bricks, that winery up on Route 20 is sort of between Brockton and Westfield, where the Pink Elephant sits. The Westfield Mayville Rotary Club is having a social evening, and you all are invited. It's going to be a fun night. It's $20 a person. It includes music by a couple of guys you might know, Doc and Bill. And there's going to be food provided and soft drinks. And of course, if you want to try some of the wines, that's on you. But it's going to be a fun night. It's a fundraiser, and tickets are available at the door. Also, today is the Haunted Lighthouse event. And we have a screen for that, I know. There it is. Isn't it magical, Mark? Let's see how that works. Haunted Chautauqua Festival. It starts at 11 o'clock through 6 p.m. today, and you can go over there. And this only begs the question, do ghosts sleep during the day? I don't know. I see they're doing it during the day. Evidently, they don't want to take you at nighttime. Maybe it's just not for the faint of heart. But anyways, that's going to be a lot of fun. As I say every week, there's so much to do in this county. I'm trying to just grab little bits of it as we go along. Let's see. Next Saturday, it'll be August 16th. There's going to be a farmer's market over in South Dayton. Yours truly will be performing there from 11 to 1. And also in the evening over at Infinity in Jamestown. I got a shout out to my friends over there and fellow musicians. There's a great duo called Simba. And they are having their farewell concert, and they've asked me and Bill to do a song with them. It's sort of like a little, I don't know, Woodstock, I guess. And anyways, that's going to be at Infinity, and if you are in that area, check it out. Let's stay right on the theme of music and Infinity. September 6th. This is an awesome event. September 6th, the various establishments, restaurants, bars, and so forth in Jamestown, they open their doors to all the local musicians. And on the hour, and there's a huge schedule, I don't even know, there's like 50 groups. On the hour, they have various bands come in, and this is all for free. Everybody does this for nothing. And we play for an hour, and then another group comes on, and another group, and another group. And this is all over the place. And what you do is you pay one fee, I think it's $10, they give you a wristband, and you can go to every one of these places, so there's no cover charge. But you're going to hear some fabulous musicians, and they're from all over the region, and that's September 6th. I think it starts like at 6 o'clock, but we'll have more information on this because we're going to have one of the guests coming up in the near future, and we'll talk further on that. But mark your calendar, September 6th, a great night just to wander the streets of Jamestown, going from establishment to establishment and hearing all kinds of music, anywhere from folk music right to music I don't understand. Okay, want to congratulate John Patterson. He's now called Baldy. He did get his hair cut, and I know Randy Burt, our cameraman here, he covered the story, and I saw a lot of pictures on Facebook. And Kathy Young got in the middle of all that, I see. She must have had an honorary ticket to do the right down the middle, but he raised a lot of money, and congratulations, John, on a great cause for cancer and so forth. And he was a man of his word. He came on the show, it was earlier last year, and he announced that he was going to do this, and I didn't even recognize him when he came on the air. I was in Akron, and I looked back at the video, and I said, who is that? And I had a pretty long hair, but it's all gone, so we'll see if he grows it back or not. Coming up in October, I know we're jumping ahead, but this is interesting because the Town of Terror at the Safety Education Village over in Asheville, our friends over there want me to tell you that they are looking for organizations that want to put together a horror situation, a spooky, scary thing. And there's prize money, and there's, I think they give $1,000 away. I'll have more information on that later, but last year they did give $1,000 away, and various other prizes. But if your organization is interested in setting up over there, call the Safety Village. It's in the phone book. You go online and find it. And also they're looking for sponsors. So if you're interested, that's coming up in October. All right, another very, very important one, and this crosses all ages. I don't care how old you are. If you are concerned about diabetes, there is a free workshop that's coming up, and we have a special slide for this. There we go. Amazing. Power of television here. A diabetes workshop at Westfield Memorial Hospital, and that's going to start August 28th. Now there's all the information, so catch the phone number there, 338-0010, and we're going to post this again. But this goes on for, I think it's 16 weeks, and it's going to talk about nutrition and exercise and all that sort of thing. Folks, this is an epidemic issue in our country today. We talk about certain kinds of epidemics in the world. Well, in the United States, diabetes has got to be right up there, is close to #1 if it's not tied for #1. We have family members that are dealing with this all the time. I'm sure your family, there's somebody in your family that has this, and you can be born with this, you can develop it later on in life. This is a lifestyle situation, and you can really enhance your life by going through this program. Also, I want to remind you, our good friend Greg Peterson and Gary Chilcott that were here last week. The Defenders of Freedom are still looking for veterans from World War II. I'm trying to twist a couple arms of my father and my father-in-law to get down, and we're going to get them taped. And remember, this is the story of your experience in World War II, and we want to capture that on film for forever. It's a great story. It's a sad story in some cases, but we also want to hear the good things. Many people made friends or saw the world during that time. Young guys going to war, but we want to get your story on tape. Okay, Westfield Fire Department. Let's see here. That is coming up on August 23rd, and they have a special fundraiser. Rainey Edwards tells me about this. And it's going to be on Clinton Street at the fire department from 6 to 9:30, August 23rd. Refreshments and music by DJ Cool Tunes will be available. And what they're doing is they're raising money and collecting school supplies in backpacks for the kids that are needy and really need help to get the school year started. So if you're interested, that's a great fun night, 6 to 9:30 p.m., August 23rd at the Westfield Fire Hall on Clinton Street in Westfield. Holy mackerel, a lot of stuff going on here. Let me just check if there's anything else I want to tell you about right now. Okay, I think that's all I have on announcements. I just wanted to share with you that tomorrow at our family get-together, family still is existence in America today. It's getting a little bit thin, but it's still, in some families, it's the weekly get-together, whether it's a Friday night fish fry or get-together, play cards on Saturday night or whatever. Our particular family over in Ripley, we try to get together from time to time. Not as often as we used to, but we try to get together at least a couple times a month. Tomorrow, I can't wait. My brother-in-law, Dan Molson, was out on Lake Erie, and he caught a mess of walleye. And he's got them all cleaned up, and they're ready to go, and they've called the official fish fryer, me, and we're going to cook up walleye tomorrow. We're going to do potatoes, make French fries. My wife's going to cut up some maybe homegrown cabbage and make some coleslaw. And from my blueberry patch, we're going to have, hopefully, I hope everybody's listening in my family, fresh blueberry pie. What a great place to live. I keep saying this over and over again, but we got lots of stuff that we grow right here in our own gardens. We have things that we can pull right out of the bushes, and we can put together a great meal, go fishing, hunting, whatever. And tomorrow's going to be a feast, so I'm looking forward to that. As I tell people, one of my fifth or sixth favorite hobbies in life is eating, and I really am looking forward to that. So hopefully over the weekend you're getting together with your families and having some fun down at the lake and enjoying some opportunities to tell stories and play cards or go fishing together. Okay, the lakes are all closed. Well, we're going to have to talk about that with our next guest and see what they can do about that. We're going to take a break right now, and we're going to have a public service announcement, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking with Mark Thomas. Stay tuned.
Drownings are a leading cause of death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Always watch them in and around water. Properly fence all pools and stay away from drains. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more. Because you never know which pool safety step will save a life until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
And boy, is that the truth. You know, lots of us have those 4 foot above ground pools and think, oh, nobody's going to get in there. Kids can climb in there, no problem. I've got my thing all gated and fenced in, and I even have to keep it away from Max, my dog. He likes to jump in the pool when I'm not looking. He just loves water. Well, with no further ado, I want to tell a quick story, and then we're going to get right started with Mark here. So there I am watching TV. I don't even remember when it was. I know it was raining out, or it was cold or something or other, maybe in the fall. And I'm watching TV, and I'm watching this guy up on a tightrope crossing the gorge of Niagara Falls, and all of a sudden I hear, out of the clear blue, the name Mark Thomas. How is this possible that Mark is associated with Nick Wallenda and all that sort of thing? So, long story short, I've known Mark for a long time, and I want to welcome Mark to the show, and here we are. Mark, I was thinking this morning, how long have I known you? It seems like almost forever.
Yeah, it's a long time.
We were just saying, your youngest son's 25, and when I first... what's his
Jason.
name? Jason, that's right. When I first met Jason, I think he was only like maybe 8, 7 years old, something like that. Yeah. So I think I've known you, 16, 17 years ago. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
And you have a really cool long title. I was looking at it. You are the Western District Director and Assistant Deputy Commissioner of New York State Department of Parks, New York State Parks and Historic Sites. How do you put that all on your business card?
I don't. I boil it down. I boil it down. I mean, I'm the Western District Director of State Parks. That's the easier way to deal with it.
Great title.
And the Western District of State Parks is 3 regions, state regions.
Okay.
It's the Genesee region, which is headquartered out of Letchworth State Park.
Okay.
And that's the prime flagship park in that region. And then Allegheny region, which is the southern tier here. Mm-hmm. And that's headquartered out of the Allegheny State Park. And then my main office is at Niagara Falls, and that's for the Niagara region. And that obviously the big 800-pound gorilla in the whole system is Niagara Falls State Park. And that's where my main office is there. So I oversee 3 regions, 40 facilities over 10 counties. So I'm on the road quite a bit.
Holy moly. Well, let's roll back the tape a little bit. Last time I saw you, you were county executive, and I don't know what I was doing at that point. I was with BOCES, I guess. Was I with BOCES? I must have been with BOCES. And you tapped me to be in this think tank. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. That was when I first ran, or when I first got elected county.
Oh my gosh! So that was like
that was 97.
Oh my gosh! So where was I? I was definitely an administrator at BOCES, and you asked a bunch of us to be sequestered week after week with the late and great Dan Bratton in his office at Chautauqua Institution, and we. And
Kirk Maurer from Social Services.
And it was a great honor to serve on this, but we rewrote the Chautauqua Charter.
Well, actually, the charter had been written before I became county executive. What you guys did was help us design the implementation of that charter.
Oh, now you tell me. Here I thought I rewrote the whole thing.
No, believe me, Dan Bratton and I were on the Charter Commission that were part of the rewrite, and that was done prior to my even running for county exec.
Okay.
But the implementation of that charter was significant.
Okay.
And what that task group did was lay out the blueprint for us to implement the charter.
I wrote something.
Changes.
All I know is a lot of writing.
You folks did a tremendous job, and we basically rolled that out. We basically instituted what that transition team that you were on put together, and it's still in force today.
Yeah, it was awesome. Now, I'm on the Chautauqua Planning Board, Chautauqua County Planning Board, and we have something called Chautauqua 2020. Does that have anything to do with the Chautauqua Charter to this day? Does that kind of
I'm
drive
not familiar with Chautauqua 2020.
It's a strategic plan for the county.
It's a strategic plan. Yeah, it does. I mean, it relates. Any time you put a comprehensive or strategic plan together like that, then it's the actualizing what's in a charter. The charter is really the law. It's the overall structure.
Okay, I got you.
But then,
it's been a while.
Then you have to operationalize that into delivering service, and so that's what you're dealing with there.
So that experience probably has helped you pretty much in your new job, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so I kind of lost track of you for a few years. You were county executive for 8 years, and we would see each other from time to time. And then you were a consultant of some sort. Is that right?
I worked for SUNY Fredonia's Rural Regional Governance Center there, and I did a study of shared municipal services around all of Western New York, pretty much the same area I oversee now.
That was there with Stan Lundeen, that whole concept?
No, Stan wasn't part of that particular project. It's a center that's been going on that Dennis Hefner started up at the college, and Len Falk from Jamestown were on the front end of that. And then I was there for a year. Mike Bobstein had worked there for a while, and now Chuck Cornell runs that operation.
Okay. Right.
But while I was there for a year, we had funding to put together basically a chart of all of the various shared intermunicipal services around Western New York, and they're significant. They're all over the place.
Right.
The problem is they don't get much play. They kind of just take care of business, deliver the service. It's far more efficient. There are savings, but in many cases it's not really quantified. But it really helps keep some of the costs in check because there's not so much duplication of service.
Okay, so you're there for a year. Then where'd you go?
State Parks.
So how'd you get that job? I mean, you fill out an application, say, "Oh, there's an opening, and I like this job," and you get interviewed, or how's that work?
Most people don't know about me is my original career was in my education in college. I graduated from the University of Illinois with a degree in Parks Administration. So I'm in my original career.
Oh. County Executive Parks. How's that?
Well, it's all governmental administration.
Absolutely.
And it's just a specific area of governmental administration. In this case, it's a very large area. But so I worked for the first 7 years out of college, ran a state facility at Brockport College. I ran their outdoor education center.
I did not know that.
And then after I finished that work, I left and had my own business for a while, and then I got into political office, and the rest kind of evolved. And Elliot Spitzer, when he was elected governor, I had known Elliot for years, and when he came in, they asked what kind of position I might be interested in. I told him that particular job, but I'd love to get back into the field and do that work.
Awesome.
So he put me in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Now, is this I want to be nice to how I say this. This isn't a political appointment. This is
it is.
It is.
It's absolutely.
So if there were a change in governors,
I'd be gone.
Get out. That's a crazy way to live a life. It works so far, huh?
Well, I was in elected office too, John.
That's true.
And when you're in elected office, you have to accept that. And if you take an appointed job, you have to accept that's the terms of employment. There's no point in...
So far, so good.
I don't look back over my shoulder. Somebody might be gaining on me, a Satchel Paige once said.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's never a guarantee, but I don't think life carries a lot of guarantees.
You're right. And, that's what I used to say. I'm going that direction. I'm not looking back. And if you want to come with me, fine. If not, but this is where I'm going.
That's it.
Yeah. I recall that we have another path that we crossed, and you don't even know this. There was a wonderful teacher at Ripley, Donna Lawson.
Yes, I know Donna.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. We have a connection here.
Yeah.
And she formed the Ripley Hiking Club.
Right.
And she said that you were real involved with that up in Fredonia.
I am.
Are you still
11
involved?
years now. I've been doing the backpacking treks that we have each spring the program's called The Quest. And we take 8th graders out, usually about 70 or 80 of them, and
70
about
or 80
25, 30 leaders, both high school age kids that are leaders and adults that we go out, and we take these kids out for extended hikes, backpacking treks in this county. And it is an exciting program, and I love doing that.
I've seen pictures of you. You don't even know this. This was some time ago, but Donna would say, Mark Thomas is involved as well. And this is when I was superintendent. Well, I said, Mark Thomas is involved. I'll get you funding. And I found the funding for the program, and I was sort of like the grandfather of the Ripley Backpacking Club.
And we've had Ripley in, and we've had Brockton is in with us, and has kids and adults and junior leaders as well. And now Silver Creek's joined the program as well.
Oh my
So
gosh,
the whole
it's really
North Shore of the county is expanded and is involved with the program now.
So let's talk about why you're here. Parks and historic sites. Yeah. So you said you're involved with 40 parks? Is that what you said?
40 parks and parkways over 10 counties.
Parkway. What's a parkway?
Well, if you go up on Robert Moses Parkway is one. It's up along the river up there in Niagara Falls. And then there's the Lake Ontario State Parkway, which is
So it's like a
runs from
green area,
Rochester
like a
out.
green area?
Yeah, they're highways. They're highways.
So you're in charge of the highway?
Yeah, except we don't maintain them. DOT does the maintenance on them, but they're state park facilities. And so we have to oversee them, make sure that things are going well on those. And then we have 2 parkways on Grand Island. And
So what do you do to a parkway?
you mow them, you maintain them. They have to be paved. They have to.
And
all
that's
that
out of
work.
your department?
It is the maintenance of them comes out of the state highway department.
Right.
But we work in tandem on those.
So it's not the thruway department, because they have their own
No,
department.
it's
It is
it's
parkway.
right.
You know, I learned more stuff on this show. A parkway.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, America's a unique place. We drive on parkways and park on driveways.
Well, all right. So let's go to Chautauqua County. We have any parkways in Chautauqua County?
No.
Why not?
State
Let's get one.
parkways. You don't want one. That was a development of the 1950s, and it was all Robert Moses drove all of that.
Okay.
And it was for a different era. They're not being built anymore. They don't really serve the purpose. You know, at the time there was so much growth and population and
Post-World War
economy
II.
and it was like you go everywhere in the automobile, and now we're finding out that going everywhere in an automobile has become a very unsustainable set of practices. And we've got sprawl. It's encouraged sprawl. It's encouraged a whole lot of things that have not been terribly helpful from an environmental or long-term sustainability.
Sure.
So I think the whole building of parkways is pretty much gone.
So the purpose of a parkway was just to be scenic?
Yeah,
As
scenic byway.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's not a bad thing, because we
No.
have some beautiful areas.
Oh, gotcha.
You go along the Robert Moses Parkway from the
rapids in
Grand
there,
Island
all that.
Bridge all the way
Yeah.
down to Niagara Falls State Park. That's a gorgeous drive along the river.
Beautiful.
Same thing when you go up on the parkway north of the falls, up along the gorge and up into Lewiston, and then down around onto the Lake Ontario shoreline. It's beautiful. But again, those days are gone. We're not building those anymore. We keep working and developing the parks, but the parkways themselves, no. What's really growing more now is greenways.
Okay.
And
rails to trails? things
Rails
like
to
that?
trails kinds of concepts, or other conveyances that are turned over, but rail beds are great. They make great trail systems.
Awesome.
And so we've got the Genesee Valley Greenway in my district that runs from Rochester all the way down to Cattaraugus County. It's a 90-mile linear park. 90 miles.
And you can walk these things,
You can
right?
walk this thing, or bike ride it, yeah.
Wow. Take a breath.
Yep.
Hey, folks, you are watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels with my guest, Mark Thomas, and we're talking about parks and parkways and all kinds of cool things, and we're just getting started. If you have a question for Mark or myself, the number is right there. You can Twitter us, you can write to us, you can call us on the phone. Isn't this amazing? Look at this technology here. Chris does a great job. Jeff's off bike riding with Randy today, so poor Chris, he's running the whole shop behind the wall there. If you have a birthday, an anniversary, or anything you want to share, a thought, an opinion, whatever, give us a call. Twitter us. We're here. This is your access station here in full bloom right now. Okay, back to Mark here. Okay, so got parkways figured out now, and we got parks. So what parks do you have here in Chautauqua County?
We have 3 state parks in this county.
Okay, let me guess what they are. Okay, Lake Erie.
Yep,
We got Long Point.
yep.
I don't know what the other one is.
Midway.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Chuck. He's whispering. They answer me. Call a
whispering.
friend. You're Midway. I forgot that you guys have that now.
Yes.
So how's that going? Let's talk about Midway.
Midway is doing very well. We've had to invest a lot of money into the facility. It's an aged historic park, and when the Walsh family had it, they did an incredible job for decades running that facility.
Sure.
And when they wanted to get out of the business and sell it, they wanted to make sure that it remained
Right.
the park and not turn into a condo development area. And so
Imagine that.
they had it on the market for a number of years, and then we ended up with the park because they could not find a buyer that
Did you
was
buy it?
willing to do that.
You personally
The state of New York bought that under Governor Pataki.
So it wasn't during your realm.
No, that was
reign there.
when I was county executive.
County executive.
Yeah, and since then, though, we've taken it over and we operate it as a state park now, and it's going quite well.
There was a real brouhaha about that. Why is the state buying
Yeah.
private property and getting into the entertainment business and that? So tell me how it's worked out.
Governor Pataki had some objectives that I thought were admirable. One is preservation of open space in the state. And he preserved 1 million acres in the time he was
Wow.
governor of the state. And that was a goal he had, and he reached it. One of those particular properties was Midway State Park.
Okay.
And there's 1,200 feet of shoreline there. There is very little public access shoreline on Chautauqua Lake.
That's true.
He wanted to preserve that. He wanted that to remain in a public way. And so that was one huge thing. The second thing that was near and dear to the governor was historic preservation. There's a lot of historic structures there. There's a historic purpose there.
Sure.
And so he wanted that preserved as well. So it was a fit for his goals and objectives. It's a very different, it's a unique facility in our state park system.
It
Very
certainly
unique.
is, yeah.
But we have embraced it, and the public certainly loves using the place. And if you haven't been down there, it's great. We have a tremendous friends group that started there. It has raised a lot of money. They've totally redone all the horses in the carousel. We put our state capital dollars into rebuilding the carousel building. And if folks, if you haven't been down to see that, it is extraordinary.
Okay, hang on. We just got a Twitter here. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's an announcement. All right. Hang on here. It says here the Shave the Mayor, it's a show that's coming up, is going to be broadcast from 12:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. each day this week. And the question came in. It says, what about the Midway 5-year plan? Is there such a thing?
There's a master plan that we did.
Okay.
And we're in the process of implementing it. The first major investment was getting that carousel building rebuilt.
So how much are we talking?
That was $500,000 just for that building.
Did we get our money back?
We will eventually, but
Okay. So it's a good
it's an
investment.
historic structure that had to be preserved.
How old was
or
that carousel?
lost. The carousel is from the 40s, but the building is much older than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was in there to begin with, you know?
I'm sure there was an earlier version of a carousel, but the one we have now is a Herschel carousel made in North Tonawanda.
Oh, they have a museum up there or something.
Yes, they do. A
Yeah, I've
beautiful
heard about
museum.
that.
And it's a lovely place.
Okay, so we got Midway State Park, and you're running that.
We got Long Point.
Is that free to get in there?
Yes.
Midway is free, but you got to pay to
You
ride
pay
the-
to do the rides like you did any other time,
Any
but
other place.
there's no vehicle use charge like there is at other
So
state
no
parks.
parking, no cost parking? Parking's free?
Correct. That's correct.
All right. I'm going to have to check that out a little
Yeah,
bit
you
more.
should, and bring your
My
grandkids.
granddaughter, we were talking about our
Bring your
grandkids.
grandkids
Yeah.
down there. We're
All right.
open. The rides are open through Labor Day weekend, and then after that, the rides shut down. But the park is still around.
Okay, this is a little bit of a confession now. You got to know this. All right. See, I don't do roller coasters and merry-go-rounds. I got like vertigo or something. I will instantly get sick, and so I'm sort of like the worst grandpa when it comes to amusement parks. But I'm all right on those little things. So we'll have to have a look at this. Okay,
It's worth checking out.
Worth checking out. So we got another question. This is like jumping in here. Oh, are you adding any new rides at Midway?
We are. Yes, we're working on that. There's a number of. Well, the unfortunate thing is most of those smaller parks like that in the United States are closing at a very rapid rate. They're very difficult to maintain at a profitable level, and so we're out shopping for rides, and as we can get them and get the right price
so maybe
for them.
as somebody closes down, you might...
we intend to bring some of those
salvage it.
back, and we have some very good mechanics who are good at reconditioning.
American Pickers, just contact them. They'll find it
Well,
for you.
yeah, I imagine they would at a price.
Be happy. They're always finding
But
those things in the weeds.
We're out searching for more rides. Yes, we want to bring more back.
Okay, so that takes care of Midway. And folks, you're right here from the deputy commissioner, the number 2 big cheese here. He says that Midway is great and check it out. And it doesn't cost anything to park. I hate to pay for parking. Okay, so that takes care of the one park. And I got the other 2. So what's going on at Long Point?
Long Point is primarily it's the marina. There is very popular, and the trails, and it's a lovely park. It's again a lot of shoreline in Chautauqua Lake. It's a very heavily used park, especially in the summer, but it gets year-round winter
Mostly
use
beach.
as well.
Beach.
And we have a swimming beach there as well.
Okay.
And
So what do people do there? They beach, hike?
You got swimming, hiking, picnicking is a big deal there, and boating.
And
Boating
does it
is
cost
big.
going there?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $7 a day.
Like per car or whatever
car,
it is? So
by the car.
Squeeze them all in
And
there?
then a lot of
go.
people buy our Empire passes.
Oh,
they're
what's
called,
that?
where you get one pass and you can go any state park all year long.
How do you get one of those?
$65. You go online to New York State Parks website.
That sounds like a bargain, especially if you like to go to state parks.
If you go to a lot of them or you go to one repeatedly, it's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and if you're local here and you want to use, or not local, excuse me, if you're local, that's great too. But if you're visiting here and you're going to spend the summer, gee, that'll be
It's a great way to go.
bargain. You know, take the kids and it's like, hey, what are we going to do? On the weekend, and the kids are all fighting or whatever. Boy, that'd be great. Okay, the questions keep flying through here. There was a question about. New train building at Midway?
Yes.
The questions keep asking about Midway.
Yes, that's the design is done, and that should go into construction this winter.
And this is a small train?
We have that little train that people ride around
Right,
on.
I've seen that
Yeah,
one, yeah.
There's a little train station there, and it's antiquated and it needs to come down and have a new one built.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we have the design done, and I think it's on the docket for this winter, or if it isn't, it'll be the following year.
And there was a follow-up question to that was, what about reorganization of Midway? I'm not sure what they mean by that
I have
question.
no idea what that means.
Okay. The rides were supposed to be, as I'm seeing here, like reorganization is not reorganization of the organization, but reorganization of the
they're probably
layout?
referencing the master plan.
Yeah.
And I would say to them right now, our work and our investments are going into preserving the buildings, and we've had to replace all the water system in the park.
Gosh.
We've had to put a lot of money in that doesn't show to the public.
Right.
Electrical
Infrastructure,
systems,
yeah.
water systems, all that had to be brought up to modern code to meet those standards of a state park operating facility. So we put a lot of money into those things, the carousel building. And then a lot of the shelters that are there, we've had to put money into those.
Okay.
We're building some more picnic shelters this year to replace ones that fell down. So we're putting money into things which basically are restoring the facilities that are there. In the master plan, it talks about changing the layout of the train track and moving the rides and creating a different parking area. There's a whole lot of changes, but we first have to preserve the structures we've got. And the Hippodrome building is in our sights right now as well. That's the building with a skating rink on the upstairs and the concession downstairs. We're really looking at our options on that thing, trying for how we can restore that building. It'll be a very costly restore.
Is there roller skating now?
No, it's closed because we don't have an elevator.
Oh,
that's
ADA.
Again, ADA issues, you have to meet those code requirements
Sure.
today. As long as the Walshes owned it, it was grandfathered. But once we got it,
Right. You're in
we
the
had to
new
close it because it didn't meet the codes.
I know my predecessor, Reed Powers, he always talked about dating girls and hanging out at the roller skating rink over the years. So
Very popular
Lots
place.
of memories, sure.
Yeah,
Well, why not? That'd be a
absolutely.
great place for
Yeah.
social things. Okay, let's keep going. So we talked about Midway, we talked about Long Point. How about Lake Erie State Park?
Lake Erie is primarily a camping park. So
Yeah?
most use is the summer. It has some cabins, which are booked all the time. And then the camping is very popular up there, too.
How many cabins are there? Do you know?
There's about 7, I think.
Okay, and what's in them? There's just the bare
beds
bones?
and they're
Just
bare
the
bones kind of cabins.
walls and the
but,
ceiling.
Yeah, but people
That's
love
what
it.
camping is, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a camping. It's camping
It's not,
experience.
what do they call it now? Yamping, ramping?
Glamping?
Glamping, yeah.
Glamour camping?
Glamour, oh my God.
We're not doing that.
No, please don't.
We're
Oh,
not doing that.
that'd be so, and that comes under the same Empire Pass, that same thing?
Yes. Well, if you want a campground or a cabin, you have to pay for that rental.
Right, right.
But if you do that, you don't pay in addition the
okay.
gate fee for the
Oh.
car.
Oh.
That's all considered part.
And this
of
is
the
all
fee.
online, I assume, that you can...
All of our bookings are done online.
Okay. And so there's another resource here in the county. Okay, now, we talked about state parks, New York state parks. What about historic sites? That's the other part of your title. I mean,
Yeah.
your title is longer than any title I've ever had, and I've had some long titles. What about, do we have historic sites here in Chautauqua County?
We have one historic property that is not an official state historic site, but it is an historic property, and it's a Barcelona Light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we own that.
It's got a plaque that
We own that, and we're gonna.
You own the lighthouse?
We own that lighthouse.
Oh, I thought the people that lived there owned the lighthouse.
There's nobody living there.
Oh,
There was for a while, but
but the people that
prior
lived there
to us,
before owned the
prior to
lighthouse?
us. Yeah,
And now
it
you
was
own the
privately
lighthouse.
held, and it was on the market too for a long time. And we picked it up about 6-7 years ago.
I didn't realize.
And we've got some ideas of how we want to work with that. So
Do you know,
stay tuned
I
on
am
that.
down there all the time.
Yeah.
I love Barcelona Beach.
It's a beautiful
We go for beach class,
Mm-hmm.
and I take my dog down there with my doggy bags. I do that, and but it's what a perfect beach. You can go out on that beach, and you can let the kids go, and there's no place they can go that you can't get to them because the cliffs block them on one side, the water's on the other, and it goes for the dog too. And you can keep a visual on them all the way to the end of towards the bluffs there, or whatever you call that thing.
Right.
And we go there all the time. In fact, my granddaughter says, "Are we going to go to our beach?" She has bought the beach, I guess. I don't know. But you have a lighthouse. All right, we have a caller. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning, caller.
Well, good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Hey,
good
Linda.
morning, Mark.
Hey, Linda, how are you?
Oh, good, thanks. How are you? It's so good to see you on the show.
It's good seeing you at the senior picnic a couple weeks ago.
Well, I wanted to thank you for coming to the senior picnic.
It was great.
That was an added treat, and I'm so glad that the state has taken over Midway Park because our service is so much better for our senior picnic since you have taken it over, because there were people there directing traffic in the parking lot. There were go-karts picking up seniors in the parking lot, taking them to their places, and it really made things very accessible and enjoyable.
Well, thank you. We try to provide the best service we can, and we have a tremendous staff at Midway and at Long Point, and I have one manager that oversees both of those parks, Kate Gross, and she and her staff do a tremendous job. They're very service-minded, and so when we have the seniors in, that's a big day. It's a really big day. The longest picnic pavilion there is full. I don't know, and they sell out every year.
Well,
the capacity.
we were advertising here, Linda. Remember? And,
Yes, you were.
And Mary Ann wrote to me, Spanos, and she goes, "Stop advertising. We're sold out."
They're sold out. Yeah.
How many people did you have there? It was like hundreds, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
like 500.
Yeah.
Over 500.
Was it over? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people. It was great.
And it was a beautiful day,
Yeah.
and it was very well taken care of, and thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Linda. It was good to see you again.
So, Linda, you catch any walleye?
No, not yet.
Yeah. I know you said you fish, so I was just wondering if you were up on your fishing.
No, I haven't, but I do want to make an announcement for
Please.
the Lions Club.
Absolutely.
A spaghetti dinner. This is to, help the Lions Club, and that they're a very important service organization. They help the blind and the
That's right there.
visually impaired, yes. And also, we have scholarship funds.
Okay.
We help with getting eyeglasses. We do testing in the schools with the children for their eyes, and so quite a bit is being done in the community. It's good for people to be aware, but the fundraiser is this Tuesday, August 12th.
I bet it's from 5 to 8.
It's from 5 to 8. You've got it right there. And children.
We already announced it earlier, but we didn't know what it was all about.
Yeah, well, I have to announce it again so people don't forget and come. It's going to be at St. Mary's Church Hall. Mm-hmm. Right there on the corner.
24 East Chautauqua Street.
Right behind the courthouse. And it's a wonderful event. There'll be some prizes. There's 50-50.
Oh.
And there's takeout available. Mm-hmm. It's advertised from 5 to 8, but if people have a schedule that they have to be there at 4:30, there will be service at 4:30.
Cool. So are you cooking?
No, I'm not cooking, but I'm going to be helping out.
Okay.
And I'm helping advertise. I put posters around. The spaghetti dinner is wonderful. It's a great gathering. And it's a good opportunity to come and meet our fellow Lions.
Absolutely. Well, they do great work, and I know I was a special ed teacher by trade, and Lions Club often provided glasses and services for our kids and help buy equipment and so forth. So get out there and eat spaghetti, folks. So, Linda, what else is going on in your life? I know over at the Office of the Aging. What are you up to?
Well, we have opened up a new computer training site. Mm-hmm. In Brockton at the library.
Okay.
We still have the training in Dunkirk going on at the Dunkirk Free Library. We also have the training in Spanish in Dunkirk for anybody who's interested.
That's great.
Also in Jamestown, we have the computer training, and of course people in the Olean area. We do at the One Stop in Olean.
Man, you're almost stretched out as Mark is. You're all over the place.
Yeah, well, we like to serve our community.
Absolutely.
We've trained well over 1,000 people.
That's great.
It's a great situation, non-threatening, one-on-one, a peer coach there all the time to assist you.
Now, Linda, you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, if I remember right. And this is not just for people that are necessarily retired, but you said that it was for anyone that's a mature adult around 40 years on up. Is that how?
Well, they could definitely, because the Department of Labor considers an older worker anybody who's 40 and over. But usually the people that come to us are around 55, 50.
Okay. But what I'm getting at is this isn't just for somebody that, you know, that's out of work, or not out of work, but retired.
No,
but I mean,
this is
full
for
service.
Everybody in the community, retirees, people
Excellent.
who are working.
Okay.
We have a schedule that's that meets your needs, and it's done according to how you want to schedule it, what your timeline is, and how often you want to come and how long you want to be there. It's really individualized training, and there is no other computer training program like it anywhere.
Great. You know, if I could make a suggestion, I would take a class on how to set up a brand new thin screen TV sound system and TV. I'm struggling with one right now at my house, and if you ever offer that class, I will go so I can figure out how to put all these components together and make it work, plus Wi-Fi and all this other stuff. Boy, I'll tell you, the technology today is making me crazy, but...
I know it. Just using the remote is a challenge sometimes. The battery's going.
Which remote? There's so many of them. But that's great that you have the computer classes, and you know, people, you know, I've heard people say, "Oh, I don't do computer." You know, I don't know. Just talk with Mark right now. Everything that their whole agency works with is everything's online. You have to know computer skills to some degree nowadays, and that's just a great opportunity for folks to learn if they haven't. So thanks. Anything else going on? How about your work?
We're helping people get jobs.
Okay, put them back to work.
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, I wish you a great day. It's beautiful out there.
I can't wait. I got a date with my lawnmower. Okay, Lynn, thanks for calling. I think we got another caller. I can hear something ringing in the background. So
it was nice seeing you, Mark, and thanks again, Doc and Mark.
Absolutely. You call anytime, Linda. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. I think he's going to tell me we had a phone call. Well, anyways, we were talking about historic sites, and you said there was... I already lost where it was.
It's Barcelona.
Barcelona Harbor.
It is historic property, but it's not deemed a historic site at this point.
Okay.
But we do have in Western New York 2 historic sites. One is Fort Niagara.
Oh.
And that is from like the 1700s.
Yeah.
It was a French fort, and then it was a British fort, and now it's ours. And it's been ours for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one we have, which is very exciting, is the Darwin Martin House, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright prairie-style architecture house.
You have
in
that?
Buffalo. That's ours.
Oh my gosh! You know, we talked
site.
about where our paths crossed. You're not going to believe this.
Okay.
When I grew up, the Darwin House was like 2 blocks away from my
in Buffalo. Really?
My dad and I walked there all the time.
Oh my goodness! If you haven't seen what they've done to restore that, you need to go back and see.
Okay. True confession time. And since maybe you can get me out of this trouble, I walked in there and I got my cell phone right. And we came in this one particular entrance. We didn't take the tour. We just kind of walked through
Oh, well, yeah.
All right, so we just walked in there, and I see this beautiful statue with wings and no head.
Yeah, the Nike.
So I take a picture of it, and out of nowhere, like 15 women came swarming at me. You can't take that picture here. Make sure there's more signs about no pictures, because I got in big trouble. I still got the picture, though.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a call.
Yeah.
So good morning, caller. Who we got here today?
Hey, good morning, Doc. Good morning, Mark. This is Randy.
Randy, where are you? You're supposed to be on the camera here.
I'm in Brockton, under the arch, or almost under the arch.
Under the green arches in Brockton. What are you doing there?
We're doing a tour of Chautauqua. I'm headed to Lake Erie State Park.
We're just talking about Lake Erie State Park. Did you know that that's a state park, and Mark Thomas is the boss of that?
Oh boy, let them know maybe we can get in free.
Won't help you.
Won't help, he said.
So I'm just checking in. We're in a tour of Chautauqua. We probably had a good 100 people or more that left. Westfield Recreation Department sponsors this ride every year. I think this is like their 30th year. So,
is Jeff with you? Is Jeff with you?
Oh, I think they're probably all the way to Dunkirk by now. They were going to Dunkirk and back in a 40-mile. They got ahead of me about Prospect Station Road.
Oh, so the Zook boys got you, huh?
So I think I'm like the last person now. So
I understand. I understand.
So I'm going to get going. So you guys have a good show and take care.
Well, have fun. We'll see you next week. Okay, buddy?
See you later. Bye.
Keep that helmet on. Okay, that was Randy Bird, our cameraman. He had to get Chuck to get up out of bed this morning to come over here.
Yeah.
And Jeff Zook is our engineer, and his brother Galen, and they just did the big ride for Roswell, and so we got this bike thing going on there. I have a feeling sooner or later they're going to get me into it, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so Darwin House.
Darwin Martin House.
Darwin Martin House. Yeah. That is a fabulous place.
It is. It's outstanding.
And when I was a kid, nobody lived there.
No. For a long time it was that.
I mean, I don't ever remember anybody in there. I don't ever remember anybody doing anything there. Yeah. It just sort of was just kind of like
hanging
ivy
out.
growing over it. And I used to say, what is that place? And that's a Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh, yes, it is.
And that's one of his. They got Falling Water.
Falling Water, which is down in Pennsylvania.
Right, and there's a number of his houses.
Yes.
So, all right, so let's talk about that real quick. So, why would someone go there? It's off of Jewett. It's on Jewett Park, right?
If you have an interest in architecture, historic architecture, and or specifically Frank Lloyd Wright architecture, it is one of his finest works.
Absolutely.
And the other property, which is not a state historic site, but it's an historic property that is being renovated, restored, is the Darwin and Isabel Martin's summer home, which is down in Derby, New York. It's called Grey Cliff.
Oh, I've heard of Grey Cliff. No,
and that's another incredible day trip for people from Chautauqua County. If you like historic architecture, another Frank Lloyd Wright designed house, very different than Darwin Martin House, but two incredible examples of his work from around early 1900s.
You know, when you look at the Darwin House, it looks like something that someone would design today. It's very geometric. It's very streamlined, but yet there's some real cool features in there.
Yeah.
So I think they just put in, I want to say a heated sidewalk, or there's something they were running pipes in there.
Yes, there's a lot of state-of-the-art kinds of things to support the house.
Right.
There's the geothermal heating in the property, and to keep it efficient for long-term viability.
So what's the state's role? They own it, and they have there's a society that helps them.
There's a restoration corporation that technically owns it right now. It was a temporary basis, allotted probably 20 years, where they took it over and have raised the money and are doing the restoration project. As soon as they're finished, it reverts back to just a state historic site.
Okay.
But we'll do that with that same corporation. It'll convert from a restoration corporation to an operating corporation. They will operate it for us. So they'll still be at the forefront of it, but the restoration work will be done, and then it's just about promoting it and bringing more and more people through, educational programming, all kinds of things that they will do going forward. But but we'll be working in tandem with them, and they're very good people, and they've done a great job restoring the property.
Okay. You are watching Chautauqua Sunrise with Doc Hamels and our guest, Mark Thomas, Deputy Commissioner of New York State Parks and Historic Sites. And if you have a desire to talk to Mark right now, you can talk to him live by just calling in here at the station. And you can Twitter us, you can email us, you can Facebook us. We are all in the social media today, and we'd be happy to hear what you have to say. If you have an announcement of any other kind, call in. We're here for you.
And you just gave me a promotion. I'm not the deputy commissioner.
You're not deputy commissioner?
No, I'm the Western District Director. They call me they have this thing online that says I'm the assistant.
I'm sorry. I had you as deputy. I got you
deputy commissioner.
Assistant deputy.
Which,
well, Mark, I'm here for you. I vote for you deputy.
I don't want that job. That's an Albany job. I like one thing I like about my job, John, is every day when I go to work, I'm going to work in a park.
That's hard to believe.
Isn't that a dirty job somebody's got to do?
That's tough to do. That's a great job.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about historic sites. We talked about the Darwin House. Here's another little piece of information you may not know. This is a little family connection here.
Yeah.
My brother had a metalworking company, and they built the frames for the windows in the gift shop and that area with where it has the timeline.
Yes.
Those great big windows. He built all the metal frames. Yeah, the visitor
center. He did that. That's
was
really
his
cool.
company. Yeah.
That's great.
He had these big presses, and they were doing all. So, anyways, we have a family connection. Oh, here's a Twitter thingy here.
All right.
What about Allegheny State Park? Somebody wants to know about Allegheny State Park. What's going on over there?
Allegheny State Park.
Bears. That's all I know.
Lions,
about. Bears.
tigers, and bears. Oh my! But just the bears. Allegheny is one of our busiest parks.
I bet.
It is the largest state park in our state system. It is the third largest state park in the nation. It is a tremendous facility, and it has the most cabins of any of our state parks. It's 370 of them, and
That's incredible.
2 major campgrounds, trails through the whole property, overlooks. It is an outstanding facility. We are, along with Governor Cuomo, has been wonderful to the state park system. When I was brought into state parks, right around that time, a study had been done statewide of our system. There was a $1 billion backlog of capital investment. In other words, investment in our aging, replacing our aging infrastructure, and replacing, that includes sewer, water, electric, gas, dams, buildings, you name it. It just, everything was crumbling. And this Governor Cuomo, has put an incredible amount of resources into this. He's had very good support from the state legislature as well. They're trying to, basically over about they will have eliminated half of that backlog in 5 years. That's how much investment they're making. So Allegheny has had a lot of money. We've replaced water systems. We'll soon be making repairs to the Red House Dam. We've been restoring the historic administration building at the park, and that's going quite well. We've done a lot of paving because our roads were falling apart, and a lot of cabin repairs and replacements. So there's a tremendous amount of investment going into Allegheny State Park, as there has been in our other state parks. All of them are getting investment to reverse the crumbling infrastructure.
Now, the cabins there, are they a little higher end than
They range from low end,
low,
no electricity, no anything, all the way up through full-service cottages.
What does that mean? Full
You
service?
come in, there's linens, there's pots, pans, dishes, the whole, the whole
gosh,
smear. You
it's
can
like
come in, you bring your food and your family, and you're
you
there
go.
for the week.
Oh, super hot. Keep learning all kinds of things here.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I have a question for you, okay? In this region, there's a little place in Westfield. It's called Glen Mills Falls Overlook.
Okay.
Is that a state thing?
No.
That's a county thing.
It's either, no, it's not. I don't think,
not a
I think
county.
it's a local.
Local. Okay, so that has nothing to do with you.
No.
Oh, okay. Here, I was going to give you credit for it and everything.
Thank you.
So you got big things.
Well, we are part of a larger recreation delivery system. The state parks are primarily regional. We serve regions.
Right.
You know, we don't
Not
always,
local things.
but we serve a whole region. So, like Allegheny State Park, most of the people that go there are from Erie County and Niagara County. There's a good population from Chautauqua and Cattaraugus and Allegheny that use it, but the vast majority of people are from Buffalo, Erie County. Letchworth State Park, closer to Rochester, about half of the visitation comes out of Rochester, and about half of it comes out of Buffalo.
Wow.
So we serve large areas
gotcha.
with our facilities.
Okay, so I mentioned bears in Allegheny State Park. We got bears around here in our
We have
park?
bears in Allegheny State Park, definitely. Are bears in Chautauqua County? Yeah, absolutely they are.
Okay.
They're back.
They're back.
And they're here to stay.
Mark, we're down to like a minute and a half. Okay, and I told you this is going to go by fast. I can't. It's been great. How about anything you want to tell people before we wrap up here, as far as the parks and stuff?
Just that, please come out and enjoy your parks. We have one of the finest state park systems in the nation. They are an incredible asset. They're for everybody, and we keep the costs low so that you can come out and enjoy it. We are the destination of choice. And Niagara Falls has 8 million visitors a year from all over the world. It is more visitation than Yosemite and Yellowstone combined. We are hugely popular. We're going through a major renovation of that facility right now. But it's open, it's great. The Letchworth State Park, if you've never been there, the gorges there are just spectacular. And I want to encourage people, get out and use our park system. It's there for you.
Mark Thomas runs Niagara Falls. He has the switch whether the water goes on or off. I just know you have one in your office. And you've got a lighthouse and you've got an amusement park. What a great job. Mark, thanks for being here on the show.
My pleasure, Doc.
Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise with Mark Thomas and myself, Doc Hamels. And we encourage you to come back next Saturday from 9 to 10 and forever and ever and ever. I don't know how many years we're going to do this. We're going to keep on going, but we have always lots of fun guests here and lots of good topics. I want to thank Chuck Kelsey for coming out and running camera for us today. He's the guru of the studio here. Chris Burt, that's been running our engineer booth. and our support staff. They're out biking instead of working here with Randy Burt and Jeff Zook. I'm Doc Hamels. Have a wonderful weekend. You got lots of parks to go to. See you next time.